laboratory and workshop facilities. The equipment will greatly enhance hands-on ICT and telecommunications skills in students and enable the University of Zimbabwe and Huawei Technologies to run the joint professional training and certification program. And we normally talk of students, but I think it is important for me to also mention that it will provide the much needed enabling environment for our lecturers who are in that field. It's very difficult for lecturers to train and point to equipment that's non-existent, like the director. We all laughed when the director was pointing to no equipment. So you can imagine what the students will do when there's no equipment in the lab. But fortunately, the equipment is somewhere. So fortunately, the student will begin to point to some equipment. The equipment whose official handover we are witnessing today is going to provide a backbone which will introduce programs to fill in the gap that exists in emerging ICT studies. With this equipment, the University of Zimbabwe looks forward to becoming a center of excellence in ICT training and research very soon. The center will forever be a testimony to the major thrust of the University of Zimbabwe Strategic Plan 2019 to 2025, which we have rooted in our departments and our various units even before it's launched through our bottom-up approach in being consultative and being able to foster ownership of the logic and the thinking behind this strategic plan, which we can say is upcoming but already exercised. That is to, the vision in this plan is to then achieve excellence in the advancement of knowledge through innovative training and research programs, and apply that knowledge through local, regional, and international engagement in order to catapult the University of Zimbabwe to the highest levels in terms of ranking among institutions on the African continent and globally. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, on behalf of the University of Zimbabwe and on my own behalf, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the government of Zimbabwe and the People's Republic of China and Huawei Technologies Private Limited for the support extended to our training and research and development activities through this gesture. It is no doubt that their contribution will enhance research and innovation and capacity strength development at the University of Zimbabwe. Allow me to especially thank the Managing Director of Huawei Technologies Zimbabwe Private Limited, Mr. Huawei, for visiting our university to hand over to the University of Zimbabwe this valuable equipment. And allow me to particularly thank our two honorable ministers for once again for being present to witness this event, and to our special guest, Mr. Channing, for being able to spare time. And I think to you say it's not just sparing time to attend this event, but I think it is to make a statement on the future opportunities for collaboration between the People's Republic of China and the University of Zimbabwe and Zimbabwe at large. So we want to thank you very much. I would like to close my statement by expressing my gratitude to everyone who is present here, especially those who have worked tirelessly to make this project possible. I believe these efforts will see fruition in the academic and professional progress in ICTs that this initiative will achieve in the coming years. We hope the collaboration between Huawei and the University of Zimbabwe will continue for many more years to come, and I would like to then appreciate the message that has just been given by the director in that regard. With these remarks, it is my pleasure on behalf of the University of Zimbabwe in your presence, our honorable ministers, to accept this kind and timely donation of ICT equipment to the University of Zimbabwe by Huawei Technologies Zimbabwe Private Limited. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Mapfumo. At least he had actually seen the equipment, so I was not totally out of order. At this juncture, I'm going to call on Mr. Chen Ning, Economic Commercial Counselor to the Chinese Embassy, to come and give us his response.
Honorable Professor Amon Mubir, Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development. Honorable Minister Kazambi, the Minister of Information, Communication, Technology. Professor Paul Mapfumo, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe. Distinguished guests, the professors, deans, and directors, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning. I'm very pleased to be here, participate in such kind of ceremony. That is, just now, the Acting Chancellor already mentioned the importance of the Huawei's ICT equipment donated to Zimbabwe University. Now, there is very limited cooperation. Why? Concerning about the cooperation between our two countries, concerning about the friendly cooperations between China and African states, that is the academic cooperation, but it is very small and enlarged the cooperation between us. Concerning about the good relation between our two countries, as you know here, that is, we have the long history friendship. Especially last year, 2018, His Excellency President Mnangagwa paid a state visit to China. We just upgraded our bilateral relations to the comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership. Now, that means our close relations will be stronger and stronger. Today, this ceremony is kind of a small donation. Concerning about the cooperations between us, there is only the small bridge. Where is a big bridge? The big bridge is a program of the seeds of the future program. Why are I mentioning here? I will mention some story about Huawei technology companies here. Now, I know that the Huawei company stayed in Zimbabwe more than 20 years. During this history, the 20 years, this company donated a lot to the different universities, middle schools, primary schools. All this shows the Huawei's company's social responsibilities for the social community. And also from 2015, Huawei company select 10 students annually to have this arranged these 2 weeks short training in Shenzhen, in Huawei headquarters in Shenzhen. Yeah. And also after that, for these 20 years, Huawei also constructed hardwares, that is cableways. Yeah. It's almost about 2,500 kilometers in Zimbabwe, sorry. And it provided service for what? For almost about 4 million people. Yeah. And now today, the handover, the equipment was about $100,000 US. That is equipment will give this base station in the university. That is to provide the service majorly for the boys and girls here. Yeah. And now I have mentioned the future cooperation between us. Just now I mentioned the program of overseas of the future. And now this future, this seeds of the future program is a small program. But concerning about the young generations between us, between the cooperation between us, that is a very huge bridge between our two countries. Why? The young generation is the future of Zimbabwe. The young generation is the future between China and Zimbabwe. The young generation is the future of Africa. That's why Huawei will do a lot of things here to give us some strong support here. Definitely China, the government of China also continue the support to Zimbabwe. As you know that, after these 40 years, the hard works of 40 years, China developed it at last. And also we enlarge ourselves as the second economic border in the world at the moment. We are rich, we're getting rich, we're getting stronger, but we never forget Africa. We never forget Zimbabwe. We never forget the friendship between us. That's why we are giving support for the young generations. Yeah. We will continue to do that. Yeah. And then finally, I will mention that is, we will be here to do our work, hands in hands, joining our efforts to construct the community between Zimbabwe and China. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for those remarks. I'll throw another fact at you. For those in Zimbabwe, I think we are used to 3G, and then to some extent, there's a bit of 4G here and there. But now there's a new technology, 5G technology. And unless if you are reading it from somewhere, the global leader in 5G technologies is Huawei. That's another fact for you there. At this juncture, I'm going to call upon Honorable Kazembe, Minister of Information, Communication Technologies and Courier Services for his response.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. And in fact, to be more precise, they are not just the leaders in 5G. They actually launched, and they launched the first real 5G. Real. We know there have been people claiming to have launched 5G. I was there. I witnessed it in Barcelona in February. And not only that, even those students who have been to Shenzhen, they will agree with me that when we talk of Huawei, we are not talking of small boys. Those who have been there. In fact, I had the occasion to be there, and just their head office, the entire UZ is probably one of the 6 or 7 complexes. Their head office. You can actually board a train from one department to another. So we're talking of serious boys here. And for us to have them here to partner UZ, we should actually feel humbled. And we thank you so much. May I start by recognizing Professor Amon Muruya, the Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Paul Mafumo, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, now, not His Excellency, Mr. Chen. Yes. May I also recognize Mr. Huawei, the Managing Director of Huawei Technologies, Zimbabwe, Professor Rosemary Moyana, Pro Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs, the staff of Huawei Technologies here present, Dr. Noah Mutongoreni, the Registrar, Mr. Edward Lamini, the Bursar, Dr. Agnes Chikonzo, the Librarian, Dean of the Faculty of Science, Professor Maud Muchuetu, and other deans and directors of institutes here present, chairpersons of departments, University of Zimbabwe members of staff and students, distinguished guests, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very passionate about improving and promoting the use of information and communication technologies in the transformation of our economy, and I'm therefore delighted and humbled as well to be here today at this handover ceremony with people who share my enthusiasm for ICT and higher education. And one of those people is none other than the professor himself, the minister. We share the same passion, and in fact, incidentally, we sit next to each other in cabinet. So we are always having our little, please don't film this one. We always have our little meetings, and we are so passionate. And we hope, we trust that the two of us and all of you will do our utmost to ensure that Zimbabwe gets to the level where it deserves. Government has identified information and communication technologies as the nerve center of socio-economic transformation in this era of the digital and knowledge-driven economy. Additionally, the deployment of ICT infrastructure and services is essential to reinforce and support social engagement, social inclusion, and cultural enrichment. At the launch of the country's information communication technology policy in March 2018, our President, Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, indicated that government was making great strides through investments in ICT backbone infrastructure, ICT education, research and development, the expansion of community information centers, as well as ICT governance and training of government officials in ICT usage. In addition, government also launched the Innovative Drive, which is a policy to provide funding to young innovators. These two policies are expected to go a long way towards making information technology revolution the basis for ultimately transforming Zimbabwe into an e-society. Talking of innovation, I'm confident that Zimbabwe has the potential to be the innovation hub of Africa, if not the entire world, because our young people have the brains, the capacity and the zeal. And this was evidenced by the students we sponsored to go to Geneva. I know there was one from here, Isaac Gadzimbe, and there was another one from the Institute of Technology, Kudakwashe Paradzai, and one from National University of Science and Technology, a lady, Charmaine Kumbirai. And these excelled extremely, it was unbelievable. I was there. They did very well. They competed with 7 other countries. They had to come up, they were given a problem, and they were asked to come up with a solution. And believe you me, their solution was the best. And not only that, they won an award, and over and above that, I'm told they've been invited they've been awarded a scholarship to go for, I think, a month or two months, everything paid for. So this is evidence that we do have the brains in this country. My ministry shares our president's vision to achieve world-class status by investing in infrastructure development. Zimbabwe will soon emerge as a giant, as it has seen concerted fiber and telecommunications infrastructure development in the recent past. In March this year, our president, His Excellency, the President of the Second Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Idi Mnangagwa, commissioned the National Backbone Fiber Link in Beitbridge. And in fact, coincidentally, it was again Huawei who were the technical partners in that project. The establishment of that infrastructure will position Zimbabwe as a regional ICT hub and as a catalyst for ICT-based industries and business. This will contribute to economic growth, transformation, improvements in the quality of our lives. Government commends players in the ICT sector for their advances that have seen the penetration rate in Zimbabwe rise from 95% and geographical coverage of 75%. In a world where information and communications technology has made it possible for more people to access, generate, and share ideas, and in a world where ICT is playing a greater role in the way that we do business than before, we urgently need a new breed of trained ICT professionals who can operate and maintain ICT infrastructure and networks, and thus make it possible for us to maximize these new possibilities. The Director of Ceremonies was talking about 5G, and in fact, when we were walking here, I was whispering to we call him Howard, that you are providing 4G, but there's 5G, and he said it is coming. And in fact, it was 5G as you would appreciate. Yes, it was launched, but it has not actually been commercialized. So they're still carrying out some pilot projects in China. But he has promised me here, and I'm saying this to these people, they are going to be my witness, that you will bring 5G after this one. And I thank you in advance. In today's advancing technological environment, we need to work smarter and better to ensure that our training programs respond to the needs and that our educators have the tools to provide our learners with a good quality ICT training. However, we still face many challenges, which include expanding access to quality ICT teaching and learning resources to all universities in the country. That is why today's handover is so exciting. The handover of ICT equipment from Huawei Technologies Zimbabwe Private Limited will help assist Zimbabwean universities in the delivery of lifelong knowledge in ICT that will match industry requirements and transform them into world-class graduates and professionals. John Dewey, an American professor, psychologist, and educational reformer once said, I quote, "If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow." Unquote. The innovative modern training programs that have been highlighted and the state-of-the-art equipment we are receiving here will make learning and teaching in the ICT sector more effective. This will enhance professional skills and competence in information and communication technology among ICT practitioners and science, technology, and engineering students and graduates for the benefit of the country as we move towards an upper middle income economy by 2030. The Huawei-UZ partnership is a reflection of the positive impact of our public-private partnership, PPP, will change the way we do business for the better. My ministry envisions that such initiatives in the ICT sector have the power to transform Zimbabwe into an information society and a vibrant knowledge economy that is both prosperous and inclusive. As such, I commend UZ and Huawei for this drive and reaffirm my ministry's commitment to support such initiatives. Let me take this opportunity to graciously thank Huawei for donating their high-quality ICT equipment, which I believe will go a long way in helping the university to provide innovative higher education. Lastly, and most importantly, I would like to thank the government of the Republic of China for their unwavering support that they continue to give Zimbabwe. China is indeed our all-weather friend, and we will remain grateful. We will guard this friendship not only jealously, but selfishly. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for even having better facts than me in as far as 5G is concerned. I think the only, what I only ask is next time when you go on one of the trips to Huawei, so that the Master of Ceremony is not going to look deficient. I don't even have to be in business class, Minister. Thank you very much. I will give you another fact again, and these are Googleable facts. These are real facts. When you talk about cell phones, again, depending on who is the author of the article, but no matter who the author of the article is, you are going to find Huawei in the top 3. If you read another article, it will be in the top 2. And then if you read a real article, it can actually be in the top 1. Depending on who is the author of the article. Thank you very much. At this juncture, I'm going to call upon Honorable Professor Amon Murwira, Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, to come and give us his response.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Honorable Kazembe, Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Postal and Courier Services.